iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz.
Julie and Jason, welcome to iHeartRadio Broadway.
Thank you.
First, Julie, I want to say a big thank you for performing at Broadway in Bryant Park last week. It was such an amazing concert, and I truly appreciate you being there.
Oh, well, I had a blast, and I was so thrilled to be asked. I mean, I've always loved going to Broadway and Bryant Park to see the performances, for years leading, so then to get to perform there is really, it's really a dream come true. It's really fun.
And you just celebrated your 50th performance of Funny Girl. Are you just having the time of your life right now with Funny Girl?
I am. I really am. I'm trying to soak up every second. It's flying by, people tell me like, write it down, but there's honestly no time. So that's part of why I do like the TikToks and stuff, is like to have a record of it, and help jog what the memories will be, because I can't believe my three weeks are now in the rear window. And it's extremely fatiguing. So sometimes what's frustrating about it is that I feel so tired that I feel like I'm not appreciating it enough, because I'm like, I should be so happy, but really I just need a nap.
And I want to say, you aren't leaving the show. You will be performing every Thursday, I believe, in the show still?
Yes, every Thursday, except I was looking at our holiday schedule, and I think because Thanksgiving is on a Thursday, I think I'm performing like the Friday. We're doing like a Friday matinee or something. So, but basically Thursday nights. Yeah.
All right. But I do want to get to the meat and potatoes of why we were here. You both have a brand new album called Hand in Hand. It's produced by Club 44 Records, and it's going to be released Friday, August 26th. And I had the opportunity to listen to the full album. And when I tell you, this album is so beautiful and so delightful, and it is so seamless how everything was put together. And there's songs that I truly absolutely adore. Some of my favorite songs are on this album. So Jason, I'm curious how the album came to be and how you all decided to put these specific songs on this album.
Well, obviously Julie and I, we've been a couple for a long time, and we got married a little over a year ago. And it was shortly after that we recorded the album. Our musical partnership even goes back further than our personal partnership. And it was really during the pandemic, though, from the spring of 2020 through when we recorded the album late summer 2021, that we developed a lot of the repertoire and arrangements that we used on this album. We had a weekly live stream on Instagram and Facebook called Quarantunes, which we used to stay active as performers in a time when no live performance was happening, to stay connected with our community of friends and family and fans. And a lot of the music sort of organically developed from that period, including songs that were introduced to us by friends and family. Hey, you should try this song. You should try that song, that kind of thing. And that's sort of how it came about.
Yeah, Mercedes-Benz was a request that came in, and we didn't know it. And so we said, yeah, we'll learn it and we'll do it next week. And then it became part of the repertoire. And then there were songs, that we had known a long time, but finally, we worked out, like it might as well be spring. We sort of worked out our version of it towards the beginning of Quarantunes. We found that 3/4 to 4/4 transition thing that we like. So, it was.
And that's the surprise song for me, because it's one of my favorite musical theater songs that I feel like nobody does anymore. I think it's just one of those purely perfect songs. And for me to see this on this album was such a surprise and a delight at the same time. So I'm curious how that song in particular made its way onto the album.
Well, in my world as a jazz pianist, it's still a standard that's called not infrequently. And so I've always loved it and wanted to really learn it. And I only kind of half knew it. So I don't remember if I requested that we try it out or if you were already singing it. I just don't remember.
I don't remember either now, but I do know that a lot of the repertoire where we sort of meet, because obviously I come from the theater background and he comes from the jazz background, there's so much of that crossover material of the golden age, songs that became jazz standards. And that's sort of where we have been able to meet for, artistically for a long time. So a lot of those kinds of If I Were a Bell and, things of that era that Jason knew, which version of If I Were a Bell is the one that you?
Miles Davis
Miles, yeah.
is the classic. Well, yeah, I mean, it's funny. For me, a lot of the work or the fun part is the backfilling of, okay, I know this is a musical theater song, but I know it from Miles Davis, right?
Yeah.
I don't know the words. What show is it from? Oh, guys, in the case of If I Were a Bell.
Well, and I have like a giant, collection of sheet music of, piano vocal scores that I've been collecting since I was 12. And so Jason, we'll pull it out and he'll be like, wait, this is what the original sounds like. He's grown up on the harmonized versions, that the cool jazz cats have done their stuff to. So he goes, oh, this is what it was originally. Okay, so now what can we do to find our version of it?
Right.
And we're just sitting at home in our living room playing around, and things just develop. And
in a way, that's kind of what the album evokes for me. For us, is sitting in our living room playing around, and many of the arrangements, particularly the ones where we've overdubbed other instruments or other voices and things, that's kind of how those arrangements were built. We had kind of a fundamental idea of how we wanted to do the song, and then we played with different textures and layers.
Yeah.
And how did Louisiana Fairy Tale, how was that chosen as the lead single to be released from the album?
That was, I think, the label.
Mm-hmm.
They said, like, what do you suggest? And I think we sent a few suggestions, and that was one of them. We particularly liked that one because, it has so many instruments on it, which was kind of a fun, unique thing that makes this album, it's, more enhanced duo, if you will. We liked that it, had, I got to do my clarinet, which I learned in the pandemic, which I'm very proud of. Not that I'm any great clarinetist, but Jason wrote me a part I could handle, and Jason plays a number of instruments on it, and we felt like it has a really nostalgic and magical and romantic quality. It's got sort of, it's not a ballad. I don't think we wanted to start releasing with just like a slow ballad. It's got some life to it, but it's very, it's just charming, and it feels like you're going on vacation, and literally, like, New Orleans is the place we like to go on vacation. So I think for us, we were, it was one of the reasons it was on our short list of songs to share, was just, it feels like a fun escape, and I don't know, it's just a very charming.
Yeah, and I think it captures both the intimacy of a duo, which we are. All the sounds on the record were made by the two of us, but it also shows some of what makes this different than a piano voice, because of the different layers that we added. So that's also, I think it has both the orchestrational kind of intrigue and the intimacy of a duo.
And with a nod to Funny Girl, you also do have a version of People on the album. Talk to me about creating a different rendition of People for this album, because you could have gone just straight standard, but instead you have a brand new arrangement. So I'm curious how that also came to be.
Well, neither one of us knew the song People before my audition, which is bananas, I know. Late to the Jason was, I was preparing my audition, and I was like, Jason, can you play this song for me while I'm practicing? And he played for me on my self tape, and he was like, the song is amazing. And I was like, yeah, it actually is. And we were in the middle of recording our album, so he was like, well, we should do it. I mean, so we talked about, I think we didn't come up with the arrangement until really the day before, because we really just had learned it. But as we played around, sort of picking a key and everything, when we were in the original key and everything, I was like, it feels like musical theater, and that's not what the album is, So we kept saying, like, let's bump it down and let's think about what the scene is that it comes out of, which is this seductive, this intimate scene. Will they, won't they? Which I think the Latin groove.
Yeah, I just felt like originally I had in mind something like a tango, a dance, because it's a flirtatious dance, even though it's not a number. The context of the scene is kind of like a dance. It didn't, and it ended up coming out somewhere between like tango and bolero or something like that. But basically this kind of medium, slow, seductive dance that I thought would give the song a unique spin and also bring another side of our musicianship and musicality to the album that wasn't already on there. So it both fit what we were doing with the rest of the record, but also complemented it. And yeah, I still don't know what the lyrics are about, but
And I'm always curious because for such talented musicians as yourselves to pare down an album to the select number of songs that you do have on the album, how hard of a process is it to then ixnay certain songs to get to where you are? And are there other songs that could potentially be coming out later down the road that weren't necessarily on the album?
There was a song we recorded we didn't put on.
we did.
Mm-hmm.
One.
We didn't put on. Oh, now I'm forgetting. I'm forgetting now. But there, we were playing around. I think there was one song we ultimately said we're not doing. And
well, there was that original song.
No, we actually recorded it.
Oh, we recorded it.
Yeah. See, okay. Look, this is so far in the.
I don't remember. But there are other songs like during our live stream series, the Quarantunes. There were other songs and arrangements that we developed and really loved, like A Cockeyed Optimist and yeah. Dream Dancing, and that could have been included, but just given it really came down to what are we excited about playing at this time that we're going to this. What arrangement ideas like. I never like to do a song just because I love it. I mean, that is a good reason to do a song, but for me, it's not sufficient. I also want to have a personal connection to the song, something that we both connect with, and also something that we can, while respecting the original tune, make it our own, so to speak, through the arrangement or the interpretation.
But now it's like it's been a while since we recorded, and now it's coming out, and now I find myself making lists of the songs for the next one, and it's always hard to pare down because there's so much material that you love. But I think the theme of this album was really songs that mean a lot to us.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's the lovely thing is there is such I think I said it before, a fluidity to this album where everything kind of merges into itself. And it's such a beautiful arrangement, not just the songs itself, but the arrangement of where they are placed on the album that I truly, truly adore.
Really the hardest part of making this record, so thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate that because we probably did like 30 versions of that song, of that order, just constantly playing around to find the right the right way to tell the story.
I was going to say, it does tell its own story while you weave the songs together. And I think that's very cool because you don't get that a lot when it comes to a standards album or a jazz album. It's kind of one song after another. This absolutely tells a full story. And I love that for the both of you.
Thank you.
And I do want to say you are performing at Birdland Jazz Club on Monday, August 29th at 7 p.m. It's also going to be globally live streamed. So you can go to birdland.com to find out more about that. But again, Hand in Hand, produced by Club 44 Records, will be available on Friday, August 26th. Julie, before I let you go, you are also now a TikTok star with all of the TikToks that you're doing for Funny Girl. I'm just curious, are you also just having such a blast with that? I know you're saying it's a time capsule for you to go back and look at, but it's just pure entertainment at this point.
I love it. I've honestly never been a huge social media fan until TikTok. I think there's something about I like video, and I've always loved making movies, like even since high school Spanish class when we had these movies to make. And so I think, I don't know, it's the first social media, not that I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings at Instagram, or it's the first time that I feel like I've felt like it's actually like a fun way to capture and express what is sort of actually going on, as opposed to Instagram is just so, I know social media is curated always. it feels creative, and I really enjoy the creativity. So
Some of my favorites are you organizing your dressing room with having to move different dressing rooms and trying to pack it all together. It's some of the best comedic moments I feel on TikTok. So thank you so much for those. Again, Hand to Hand, produced by Club 44 Records, is out Friday, August 26th. Julie and Jason, thank you so much for joining me on iHeartRadio Broadway today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz.